Prime Minister Christopher Luxon has spent another day defending his future deputy over his Land Rover stunt, despite footage clearly showing David Seymour being told he was not allowed to drive up the steps of Parliament. The Speaker says he has no way to punish him yet. Here's senior political correspondent Jenna Lynch.
Day 3 of defending David's joyride.
Issue for the Speaker, made my comments clear on Monday about it.
Footage captured by TVNZ shows David Seymour was warned by the organiser they did not have permission to cruise up Parliament steps.
We've been told to keep off the steps.
Twice.
We've been told by security that we cannot go on the steps.
Why not? Why not?
But he's still denying any knowledge that he was not allowed.
I didn't know I wasn't allowed to. What I did know is that it was for a good cause. It was reenacting something that had happened before. There's no specific rule against it. Nobody was harmed.
He shrugged off any potential referral to the Privileges Committee, effectively Parliament's court.
Well, what are they going to do? Bring me before Privileges Committee for driving a Land Rover?
Why were you laughing about being sent to the Privileges Committee? Why were you shrugging that off?
Well, I think it would be an absurdity, and as the Speaker has said, there's no way that that can happen.
Labor tried again to have Seymour censured.
The security guards here at Parliament operate under your authority, and that for any member of Parliament to not follow instructions from a security guard here at Parliament is directly undermining your authority as the occupant and the employer of those security guards.
That is a very fair point.
He was questioning your decision. That he defied your decision, and therefore a question of privilege must arise.
But while the Parliament could today hand down a punishment to Te Pāti Māori MP Taku Te Whereas for denying he called MPs liars in this speech last year.
Lies, in other words. Many in this House are masters of it.
We're aware of the decision and we respect the decision that's been made.
On driving a vehicle toward the Parliament, the Speaker's hands are tied.
There's a general view that the Speaker has all-encompassing powers, somewhat similar to Henry VIII, and therefore everyone's head is somewhat in a perilous position. That is not the case, as you well know.
Jerry Brownlee spelling out the path forward in black and white.
I have not received, as would be the normal case, a letter claiming that a privilege has been breached.
PM having to express confidence in Seymour.
I have met with the Minister and had a positive and constructive conversation about it, and I have every confidence in all of my ministers. That's an issue for the Speaker to talk about the parliamentary steps, but with respect to my ministers, I have every confidence in all of my ministers.
While his other coalition partner threw the ACT leader under the wheels.
If you knew parliamentary security didn't want you to do something, would you stop?
Well, you asked me would I have done that? Of course I wouldn't have.
National and ACT playing up the harmony, both between leaders and the rest of the MPs.
Do National Party MPs respect all ACT Party MPs?
I don't know, you'd have to ask them, but we work very constructively together.
Look, I'm sure that as with any organisation and group of people, there will be people who from time to time disagree. But overwhelmingly, we have a coalition government that works together very, very well.
But Labor got a perhaps accidental insight today. National backbencher Joseph Mooney texted Labor's deputy leader, apparently disparaging ACT MPs, saying, "It's funny that ACT never defend their policies in hearings, never ask questions. But soon, whoop, it disappeared." Mooney unsent the message. He disappeared when we asked him about it.
Why are you talking about ACT Party members in text messages? Why are you talking about ACT Party members in text messages?
I think we have publicly seen a breakdown in relationship between leaders and the tension there, but clearly that extends to the actual members of Parliament as well.
Again, I'll just say to you, we work very constructively together, all the parties in the coalition government.
Some days perhaps better than others, though.
Yep. No. Why not?
All right, Jenna, will there be a day 4?
Yeah, that footage of David Seymour being told a couple of times that he wasn't allowed to do so and then kind of laughing off any consequences is pretty damning. It makes him look like he thinks he is above the rules. He's got off this one on a technicality because he was effectively told that security said no, not the Speaker, the boss of Parliament. But the Speaker, the boss of Parliament, does seem like he wants to take some action, basically laying out the steps for the opposition to make it happen. So you can probably expect an official complaint complaint to lay with the Speaker tomorrow. In terms of David Seymour, there's a couple of things he could perhaps chalk up as a bit of a win in this. One is I've looked at the donations page for the charity that the Land Rover was raising money for, and quite a few of the donations do mention David Seymour's stunt. And two, it has created a massive distraction from two more politically damaging stories: the naming of his former party president as a sexual offender and David Seymour's letter of support for Auckland eye surgeon Philip Polkinghorne.
Jenna Lynch, tēnā koe.